Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the meeting of the Court Services Committee, Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. Call meeting to order. Move on to 2.0, and that's prayer. I'll take care of that. Heavenly Father, we ask that you would bless this room full of people as we do the important county business. We ask that you give us leadership as we make our decisions. Father, we would ask that you would reach down and touch our country. We obviously have some serious problems, and we could use your help in these matters. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
3.0, approval of the agenda. Okay, motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda presented.
Motion by Mr. McKenna, second.
Second
By Mr. Meester. All those, any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Okay.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 4.0, review and approval of meeting minutes from August 13th, 2025 meeting. I get a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from August 13th, 2025.
Motion by Mr. McKenna,
Second.
second by Mr. Meester. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes. 5.0, approval of claims in the amount of $36,745.32. And I get a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
Approval by Ms. Williams,
Second.
second by Mr. McKenna. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 6.0, public comment. Yep. Seeing none. Hit the sign quick. Seven reports to committee. Judge Hauser is not present. Public defender is not present. Ovation, Dr. McGee.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So you have my report. I don't have anything pressing to discuss. I know we need to get through some of the budgets, so if there's anything specific.
Anybody have any questions?
I see we got a couple in juvenile detention. I haven't seen that in a while. Serious, pretty serious then.
Um,
Do you want me to answer?
yeah, go ahead, please.
The two we have in juvenile detention right now, one of them is pretty serious. The other one was more of a danger to themselves. There's an individual who's just kind of gone off the rails and kind of become violent with his family, and perhaps there's some issue of potential self-harm. So we got him in detention to give everybody a little chance to cool off, and maybe we can kind of get him into some counseling or something that will allow him greater liberty and safety.
Do we have that service over there where we're housing them?
They have services there, but I'm not sure specifically what they're doing with them outside of the services that they normally provide while someone's in detention.
I mean, the two we've got there right now are short term. They're not going to set up any like house or anything in detention.
More likely they'll be after they get out, and that's something that we usually coordinate. But I know they do make some effort to work with them while they're there.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? Thank you. Move on to the state attorney. Nick Larson.
It's been a busy week, or a busy couple of weeks. We're still working to hire ASAs. We still have one attorney out on maternity leave, and we still have an opening for an administrative assistant. So we're actively interviewing. We didn't close a whole lot of felonies in August, 19 compared to the 69 we closed in July. Part of that is just that we're stretched thin. We just don't have a lot of bodies in the office right now. But the bigger part of it is the felony court judge was on vacation for 2 weeks in August, so it was really like a 2-week month for us. But things are moving along. My first assistant, Tom Madigan, had a kind of an interesting trial set up. He was working all week last week and then Saturday and Sunday. Not that complicated of a trial on itself, on its own. It was kind of a domestic dispute that ended up in individual's car being shot, and then the police get there and they find drugs, and it's not that uncommon really how all that worked out. But what was different about this case is that the defendant, the victim, and the witness all spoke only Spanish. So we're preparing to do a jury trial, and there are multiple interpreters. One for the state's attorney's office and the jury and the judge, and then the defendant himself needed a separate interpreter so he could speak to his attorney kind of privately. Additionally, we got, I don't remember if it was somebody up here, it was one of the other offices, but we got it's a thing about the size of a cell phone. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Doesn't have to be connected to the internet and will translate any language into any language. And so actually, I came in Sunday and Tom was there with Seth, who also had a trial set to go on Monday, and they've got the jail calls pulled up and they're in Spanish, and they got this thing, and Seth's playing 20 seconds of the jail call. Tom's got the device pressed, so listen to the jail call, and then it translates it into English. And fortunately, what the translation was, it was the guy's wife, who was the victim of kind of the domestic violence. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but essentially that was telling him, "You're guilty. You should just plead guilty. Don't make me come and testify. If I testify that you're not guilty, I'll be lying, and then I'll go to jail," she's saying. So armed with that information, he was able to resolve it Monday morning, of course, and after preparing for almost 7 days. And so, I mean, that was kind of an interesting thing. And those devices, my gosh, if I ever travel, I think we bought it for like $200.
It's pocket talk.
Yeah, I can't believe it. And you just push it, you talk, and then it translates it. But anyway, that's about what we've been up to for the last month. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
So you ended up having less translators, obviously.
No,
You still had 3 translators?
two,
2.
yeah. I mean, when it comes to court, there's no messing around. Those translators have passed tests. They swear that they're going to translate truthfully and accurately. Right? You wouldn't risk using a machine to translate for something as important as a trial.
Okay, so you can't use your pocket target in a trial,
No, not as a part of the proceedings anyway.
but you could use it when you were,
And well, we used it for for interviewing the victim, for interviewing
Okay.
the witness. We used it to translate the jail calls.
okay.
I actually made a couple of calls today when I looked at the bills. There was $18,000 for interpreters, and I thought, well, that's a lot of money, so. I called Dr. McGee, and I ended up talking to Lana Parkinson, the judge's office, and apparently we get reimbursed for all that, so.
I don't know anything about that end of it, but
Okay, so
I can imagine our
Yeah.
translator use was pretty heavy this month.
that's much more than normal, I guess, Lana said so. Okay, well, thank you. Move on to the circuit court.
Good
Chris
evening.
Cordell.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Should have my reports. I did make my first purchase out of the Access to Justice grant that I received, made some carbon orders, so I'm starting to make purchases with that this year. Yesterday or the day before, we did get notice that the disability access grant for 2026 is out. Last year, 54 applicants applied. We were one of them and 31 were granted. This year, they are limiting the request to 40,000, but they will pay for partial projects. If there's projects, they'll pay for that. I have a meeting with the sheriff on Friday that we're going to talk about maybe another bathroom in the courthouse. On the second floor, the bathrooms are not ADA compliant, and that's where all the court is in our office. There is one now on the third floor and the basement. The second floor still does not have one. We will be applying for that, and that is due October 10th. And that's about all I have, unless you have questions.
Any questions, anybody? All right, thank you. Use the burning fees. Here,
So on that, I think it is a tab, it's the probation tab, not underneath diversion.
well. $61.74. Awesome. Very good. Okay. See, moving on to old business. 8.0. 8.1 is review and approval of proposed FY 26 budgets. State's attorney.
All right, I noticed in the agenda, you didn't have a hyperlink to my budget, which is almost certainly my fault. I did update it, but I didn't send it to Georgia. So you have the updated budget. The only change is there's designations in the with the personnel request and without the personnel request on lines 801-40200 and 801-68200. And you can see the amounts with and without the personnel request. Otherwise, it's identical as what's been previously submitted. I'm happy to answer questions about any aspect of my budget that the board may have, but I suspect the focus will be on the personnel request. As I'm sure you recall from last month, I'm requesting a line item increase of $32,775.50 for the assistant state's attorneys. How I came up with that number is I took the public defender's office per attorney, average salary per attorney, and then I times that by the number of attorneys in the state's attorney's office. And then the difference, the amount that they're funded in excess of what we're funded is the 32,000 using that metric. I recognize that this is a big ask, and I also recognize that in making this request, I'm entering a competition for resources where the requests for additional money is greater than the available additional money. I'm persisting in this request anyway. There are three reasons why I'm doing that. First, parity. We feel that the state of Illinois funds head state's attorneys at 10% more than head public defenders. But in Stephenson County, we fund assistant public defenders at a much higher rate than assistant state's attorneys. We think we're not asking for the Stephenson County to match the state of Illinois' 10% greater for prosecutors. We're just asking to be put on a level playing field. The second reason is we have in the past years been investing considerably in the sheriff's department. We've developed new units, and those things are going well and they're awesome. But we should protect that investment by funding the state's attorney's office at a level consistent with our neighbors. And that's my third reason. I've provided you with the budgets of Lee and Ogle County. If you approve this grant, assuming that, and the Lee and Ogle County budgets are 2025, we're going into 2026, so that we can assume that the Stephenson County 2026 budget is not a fair comparable to the Lee and Ogle 2025 budget, in a way that, is, I think, favorable to the increase. But, we would still be lower, we'd be about equal to, Ogle County's 2025 budget. If they get an increase, we'll still be significantly below them by the amount of the increase. And we'll be below, Lee County's budget for assistant state's attorneys. So you may be, arguing or thinking to yourself, okay, all of that's compelling, but we don't have the money. Why should we pick this out of all of the requests that you're going to be faced with? And it's up to you. Obviously, we're all adults here. We're all professionals here. If you can't go this way, you can't go this way, and I'll accept that. We can still be friends. I'm asking you to do that, because I feel, and I mean, when you get down to it, it's in essence a value judgment that, in funding the public defender's office the way that it's been funded, you've been prioritizing due process for the indigent and civil rights, and those are noble things. But so is public safety. And in funding the state's attorney's office at a rate equivalent to the funding of the public defender's office, I think that we are showing that we do also value public safety, both through the work done by the sheriff's office and, prosecuted by the state's attorney's office, and through the non-county, crime that the state's attorney's office funds. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have, but I would ask that, you pass my budget with the, personnel request intact. Thank you.
I got some questions for Adrian, two questions. What are the non-union employees at in health insurance right now? All non-union employees?
What's their percentage?
Yes.
It's 26 and 20,
We'll be going to
oh,
24.
24 and 26.
Yeah,
Yes,
So we're non-unions is at 24, we're even with the unions now. Cause I think the unions
for
are,
26.
oh, really?
We're currently at 22, moving to 24 and 26. That was the resolution that was passed. It was a
Okay,
3-year.
so non-unions are already at 24 then.
they're at
No,
22.
they're
for
at
20
22.
And this year, they will be at 24% contribution in 2026.
Oh, okay, that's fine then, so we got a plan on that. I thought last year we passed these separate, these personnel ones. And then you provided us with a sheet with everybody's,
That's,
yeah, something like
that's
that.
there.
Yeah,
And your
that's
staff.
in there for that.
I didn't see that. Oh, you mean this right here then?
Yes,
So we're looking only at a total so far of what? Dollar amount 37,000?
correct.
Oh, okay then.
The impact in the general fund is actually less than that total because one of the requests is coming out of GIS.
Okay. Now, thank you for the information. Now, Carol, to you. How many state's attorneys do you have assistants? Again,
How many positions?
yeah, positions.
6.
6, that's including you. Okay.
7, including me, 6 assistants.
Then you have somebody under you as like a chief assistant or something.
We do have a first assistant state's attorney,
Okay, what is the starting salary for a state's attorney now?
$68,000 a year.
And what would that move that up to then?
I don't know. I'd have to look at it. I don't know.
Okay, so the public defender, you're saying his starting salary 68,000 to them.
No, it is not. It's
It's,
somewhere in the 70s.
and that's what you're trying to get to then.
I'm trying to get to a equal average salary.
Okay. That's all I have so far, yeah. Good.
Any other questions?
Yeah. Carl, is this something that we can use, the new revenue, the sheriff's towing fees or anything like that? Is it possibly be used for this because it's a new source of revenue?
if I remember that ordinance correctly, there was a specific location where that money was going to go.
I remember it's going to be directed at some point. I've just been, I
Yeah,
know Steve's not here, but I just thought since you're sitting here.
yeah, I'm sure Steve has ideas,
So I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
Sure he does.
and I don't blame him.
So, you know, I'm still working on the budget process. So if we pass this, what are options for coming up with a funding source?
Right now, there are a lot of different variables in the general fund that need to be worked out. One of which is, real estate taxes.
Okay.
Levies can be moved around. The county board can vote to increase our total tax levy. Currently, the VAC, Veterans Assistance, is asking for $140,000 more than they were last year.
Okay.
So that is coming out of, dollars allocated elsewhere. Because we have to move the levy around unless you want to increase the total levy, which means increasing taxes.
Okay.
Health insurance is a major unknown right now. We hope to get more information in the next 30 days that kind of solidifies that amount. Also capital expenses. Currently, there's a transfer of $250,000 going to the capital fund to fund capital expense requests. So that can be adjusted. So there's a lot of moving pieces, some pretty major revenues and expenses that can be, they're just up in the air for now.
So it seems like the easiest thing to do would be to take if we're gonna give the veterans assistance more money, we could just give them 100,000. That would give us 40,000. What about passing this with I don't know if you could do it with a contingency that the money you could come up with a way to move things around once you get more definitive numbers. I mean, without having, I don't know how you even do it without not knowing the numbers,
Right.
you know. So if we were to pass it and we didn't have that, and we couldn't come up with the cash, then what?
Finance has the power to
Adjust.
take it away,
They could take it away.
make adjustments.
And if I may,
Oh, please.
apologize if I'm wrong, but I think we just talked about this in administration. Currently, the general fund has about $117,000 deficit in it for 2026 so far.
Okay,
So, and as far as VAC is concerned, you can give them their full ask. You just have to reduce it out of another levy.
Mhm.
And even if we did pass the tax increase, the 5%, whatever it is, it still would not be enough. I don't believe, would it?
It equates to about $509,000 that increase our tax levy by, so it could cover that.
That's a totally separate issue. That's something we'll talk about later.
Okay. Okay,
October and November.
all right,
There's other budgets too, and I'm not advocating for or against. I'm just saying there's budgets in the administration committee that have not yet been passed.
Okay.
Public property and safety has not been passed yet. And we have highway tomorrow night.
okay.
So there's big picture to think about
Mhm. All right,
with the deficit currently.
all right.
No, you go ahead. You got
Carl, do you have any indication that the state's attorney's office will get state dollars like the public defender's office has received in the past few years?
I have no indication that we'll receive those. Now we do currently have a violence against women grant in the amount of $40,000 that we've been trying to defray expenses. But that's a 3-year grant and that may go away. Otherwise, that would solve our problem to some extent. But no, the state of Illinois is, currently, I think, favors public defender's office over prosecutors.
I have more of a comment than anything. First, I am sorry for this to even have to be brought up. My personal feeling is that the public defender assistants and the state's attorney's assistants should all be paid on the same level. I don't know how this got to be so lopsided, but I think that we should do that. I personally, I just don't think we have the funds to do it. I think about the 4% that we've told, all of our employees that they can get. And I'm not even sure we can afford that. When I look at what my COLA is going to be for Social Security at 2.5, maybe, because we're not, we don't have anything direct. I think we're going to have a hard time selling the people of the state, of the community, that these employees are getting 4%. And that's not to say that they shouldn't. It's just, here's when you're adding things up, it's just not adding up. And we already live in a community that is very depressed. Kids are getting free lunches at school. There's a lot of poverty in the area. I just don't know where we're going to squeeze the next piece of blood out of the turnip from.
Can I ask one more budget question, or I guess procedure? If we voted it through with the raise and finance could take if we can't come up with the cash, they could take it away. If we voted through without the raise, could finance do the reverse if we did come up with the cash?
Yes.
Yeah,
Can even change it at the county board level in November.
Okay.
I got some follow-up.
Yes.
So if I'm reading this right, a lot of these requests, you got like add 2%, add 2%. Would that be add 7.28 then?
I took the total percentage increase from the state's attorney's budget line. The
So
4% COLA. Yes,
it'd be 7.28 he's additionally asking for,
Yes.
correct?
yes.
I would. I'll run this idea and I might make the motion.
Okay.
Give them 3.5% this year and another 3.5% next year to catch up to. Kind of have a happy medium there, and they can still vote it down or add it back or whatever. So it really would be, instead of 7.28, 3.5, and then 3.5 next year. I agreed with the state's attorney, but boy, the budgets, with a lot of unknowns yet, so.
Right. The reasons are very, very compelling. Yeah. Go ahead, Bill. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to increase it to 3.5%. Instead of the 7.28. So I'm making that motion to correct that instead
Do we have a
of,
motion to,
you understand where I'm coming from?
Yep.
Okay,
This is 4% plus 3.5.
yeah,
It's 4% plus 3.5.
correct.
okay, we have a motion on the floor.
I'll second that, just discussions.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I guess my feelings are, out of all the raises and all the requests for additional funds and raises, I think the state's attorneys is the most worthy of them. Otherwise, we're gonna be in the same boat, all the time, we're gonna have a revolving door up there. Cause, we're not really too competitive with peers, with neighboring counties, even with our own county downstairs. And so to get a consistent, almost up there. I hate to say it would be nice if everybody behaved themselves and we didn't need any of these, but I don't see that happening in the future. So I would support any extra increase over the 4% at this point as compared to last year's.
Well, I guess.
My 2 cents.
I would, I guess this is a pretty good compromise, but, I'd like to still keep the, window open to perhaps get if the dollars work out, we can still give them the ask that further down the road, if the money appears.
Yeah, for what it's worth, that's an acceptable course for me.
Okay,
Good. At least it shows we're a good faith effort, I guess. I'm trying to help. That seems.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Maybe to get people to hang on a little longer.
Mhm.
And the reason I bring this up, and it might not be a big thing, but unions watch these kind of things too,
Absolutely.
see what we're doing with non-union employees and stuff like that, and,
Absolutely.
it's always my concern too, is, they see that, amount, oh boy, they got money and we don't, so
Right.
I just thought maybe it'd be a good compromise, so I'm gonna support this.
okay, any other comments, concerns? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same
Aye.
sign.
Aye.
3 yay and 2 nay, so it passes.
Would you like me to submit a new personnel report reflecting the 3.5?
Yes, please.
Okay. And I will, if my budget passes, I will fix the budget on Teams to reflect that as well. Thank you, everyone.
The motion to approve his budget. With the amendment in it.
Can I get a second?
On cycle.
A motion by Mr. Hadley, second by Mr. McKenna. Any comments, questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign.
Aye.
3-2, motion passes. Thank you. I have one here, I just been shifting some phone papers. Okay. On to public defender. Oh, not here. Was there anything, then was there something else we were supposed to, we were gonna talk about
Circuit clerk.
circuit clerk? Okay, that would be under new business, all right, or no?
I mean, we can discuss it during budgets, we just can't take any action on it, it'll come back next month. The youth diversion budget is in there though, as well.
Okay. The computer. Do we have any, information towards, everybody got any information on this? Okay, that'd be great.
So given that there was only $5,000 allocated this year, there's gonna be an increase in cash carry forward, so I took that into account.
Okay,
Along with the trend that we've seen, as far as security fees into this fund, so. Increase in revenues to 50,600, expending 15,000. So close to $600. you'd like me to try to go for 15,600, I can do that, but I just didn't wanna. We didn't collect everything just because of waivers and things changing in the circuit clerk's office, I mean, overextend.
And, no, I would keep it at 15. I would say we keep it at 15,000. That's, I guess we should have a motion. Motion to pass youth diversion budget.
I'll make a motion to approve the youth diversion budget.
Motion by Mr. McKenna. Can I get a second?
I'll make a second.
Second by Ms. Williams. Any more questions?
Yeah, I got a couple of questions. We're going to, when is do we do it in the spring, don't we?
Spring.
So we're saying that we're gonna have $15,000 in the spring to actually give out then? Or,
Well, that's what the total that will be available in 2026. I look at the year as a whole now.
okay, because, okay, so. So that, you think that's what we're gonna get for the whole year, but we're not gonna have that much money to give out then in April or something like that? Pardon me?
Not in April.
Okay, then.
Right.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay. Anybody else? What would happen if we lowered it to? This is if we lowered the expense to 10,000,
Should do that.
because then what happens to the extra money then?
Carry over into next year.
Cash carry forward.
Cash carry forward.
That's what I was getting at. Are we gonna,
Yeah, I think,
We only had 2 people apply this year.
right.
Right, but I also think too that we should we should light a fire underneath the Boys and Girls Club. Because they did not apply. And I think they're going to lose funding. All indications tell me that they're gonna lose a lot of funding. So we're just going to have to just light a fire underneath some of these groups. And tell them that this money's available.
I'd like to think if they need it, they wouldn't need a fire.
Well, I'd like to think that too, but not necessarily. Everybody doesn't put it to the top of the list. Some people just, I cannot imagine that the Boys and Girls Club does not know that this money should exist, correct?
Well, they've taken it before. They've got one.
So, I guess the question, I find it very odd that they didn't come forward.
I want to ask the state's attorney something.
Okay.
In my earlier days, the teen court was coordinated through a lady in your office. I believe she was calling different high schools and get things set up. Is that something that that your office handles, or somebody else handles that, or?
Well, yeah, our victim and witness coordinator had it kind of a supplemental job almost, managing the teen court. We discontinued the teen court when Tom Cunningham was the probation director. Based on his recommendation that he felt that at least according to the studies he read, the teen court was ineffective.
How do you feel about that?
I know Jackie Cooley, I think who was
Yeah.
there, I thought she did a good job with it when it was here. However, I think kind of being consistent with what Tom was saying, it's not an evidence-based program, and that is something that I know the administrative office of the Illinois court looks at quite a bit. So I don't know, I haven't done research on it recently to see if anything has significantly changed to warrant teen court.
I don't think none of you were on the board at the time we had teen court. The board members were invited, and the parents were there, and it was non-violent, maybe somebody breaking a window or something, or getting caught with some alcohol or something like that, and
A lot of shoplifters.
yeah, and first time, and it was judged by their peers,
Right.
And it was, I liked it a lot. I thought it was always a deterrent because, you know, there was some follow-up on that, you know, too, to see, years later, you know, checked up on them, but I just, I brought it up because it's on there and hopefully someday we could really serious look at that as a deterrent and get, cause I remember she reached out to Lena High School and, you know, Freeport High and stuff like that, and, it was quite interesting, so hopefully, you know, don't want to overload your office because the shorthanded, but we should really look at, I don't know if other counties are doing this. It'd be something nice to find out, if counties are doing this teen courts, you know, because it would be a good, personally, I thought it was a good program, and the parents, you know, really liked the program and stuff, because I used to talk to the parents after the meeting, you know,
Okay,
the court case, you know.
I remember you talked about that before,
Yeah,
but
so,
that was before my.
I just wanted to bring that point up that, you know, we, yeah, you know, don't need to look at it this year, but, you know, look at, doing some research and see what other counties are doing, and maybe next year doing something like that, you know.
Well, I would make a motion to pass this, but reduce it down to, 10,000. From 15,000. If I can get a second. Second by Mr. McKenna.
Making, amending the motion that's on.
Yes, amending the motion, yeah.
Sure, I'll second.
So any, discussion?
I'll second that amendment, I guess, to get discussions and.
To lower the,
Right, you're gonna lower the expenditures on
Yes.
it. What's your logic on that?
because like Mr. McKenna said, we only had 2 last year. And $10,000 is more than, I think, we had the 4 years I was on, the county board before.
Okay, come April, we can't dispense more than what's there.
Correct.
So the 15,000 is a guesstimate of what will be collected over the 12 months.
So, okay, so let's say we only have 10 in there. Then we would collect the rest of it the rest of the year.
And it would be cash carry forward
Yeah,
for
to the next year.
FY 27,
Got it.
so
Okay.
that you build up more towards the beginning of the year.
Okay. Now I'm
Is
following,
that-
now I'm following
Okay,
the logic in
Okay.
that. Thank you.
so we'll vote on that amendment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. So then we'll vote on the budget.
Motion to approve the budget with amendment.
Okay, can I get a second?
And second.
Motion by Mr. Hadley, second by Mr. McKenna. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. I'll move on to 9.0, new business, seeing none. Move on to 10.0, adjournment. Can I get a motion?
Are we doing mine?
You wanna
Oops.
discuss?
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Yes,
Skipped over yours.
discuss it, please.
yes,
Okay, sorry.
And that was passed out because I did not
Yes.
attach it. So.
So you know.
That's okay. I know it didn't get
Just throw
put
something.
on the agenda. My general fund did not get passed last month because of the supplemental. Mhm. So I just wanted to start off with saying to support my request and Carl's request. The county did do the strategic plan. Part of that plan on the effective government was to develop a human resource director position to improve retention. Another progress measure was retention rate improvements. So I think our requests are going on part of the plan that the county does have. I'm requesting 6% for my administrative assistant. It is an additional $1,086.50. Social Security would be $83.12, and IMRF would be $34.23. And I have reasons attached to that, if you have any questions. I appreciate everything my administrative assistant does, and I just feel that I should ask for an additional 2% for her.
She's an hourly employee.
Yeah, no, she's salary.
Salary.
She's my only salary.
What's her salary? Is it on there somewhere?
With the 6%, it would be 57,580. With the 4%, it would be 56,498.
Thank you. Do we want to discuss the raise first and then go from there? If we, that's what we did with Mr. Larson's. Seems like a good thing to do. Does anybody have any comments on the raise, 6%? I would say we probably have the same argument with this as we have with Mr. Larson's.
Yeah, again, the percentages of it matters now. Down there.
Right, right.
Yes, and unfortunately, I have the same statement that I made earlier. I'm sure that they're deserving. When you've been at a job this long, you definitely deserve a longevity bonus to stay and stay within the community. But I'm going back to my original statement. I wish I could, but I can't.
Dollars.
Yeah, but the unions are.
Yes, same thing, yeah.
Unions are gonna pick up 6% and the dollar.
So anybody have any suggestions?
Sorry,
Okay.
I haven't got an idea.
Yeah, like everyone said, I mean, everybody's deserving. I mean, you can only draw from so many places.
Okay, so we'll vote.
Unfortunately, some places have to bear the brunt of other places' advancement.
We'll vote on the
No, we can't vote on this till
oh,
next
you
month.
can't vote on it anyway.
I got a question. This is all that's gonna be for personnel this year?
That's all that I have received so far.
Okay, well, why, you think we're gonna see some more or?
No,
Okay,
no. And I apologize for the error on the state's attorney's percentage. I got the request about half an hour before the meeting.
well, that's okay, that's fine,
I will correct that and get it sent out, but yeah.
okay, yeah, that's, thanks.
Mr. Chairman. Yes, go ahead.
I know that unions have been brought up. I just was looking at some of the other law enforcement and corrections increases. They range anywhere from 7% to 12%. So
Well, that was a one-time deal.
they did move up and with a new starting point, yes, but overall, like the dollar amount of increases just in the sheriff's department budgets last year were about $1 million. And this year they're about 450. And I'm not saying, I just wanted to address the union aspect of it. Because there are some pretty hefty increases built into the general fund at this point.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes,
So this was actually discussed in the last several months with Public Works contract negotiations, the union rep for the workers. And I'm not picking on Chanel, but he specifically spoke about the contract of the circuit clerk's office. And his exact words were, you guys are flush with cash if you're approving contracts like that. Now, it didn't matter what the dollars were, it was the percentage that mattered. And they came to us and wanted 20% increase. And of course, that was whittled down. And I think it ended up being 454 over 3 years. But it's very real whenever they see an increase, as Mr. Hadley said, they keep track of this stuff. And I am not all that confident that other departments won't be coming back. They're paying attention to this too, and every single one of the other departments have employees. They're deserving far more than what was approved in the budget policy. But that's why we have discussions in the spring about the budget policy. To try to determine what levels we should be at. And hopefully the thought is you're estimating what revenues are going to be there and other expenses that are going to be there, but you try to be fair by passing a budget policy with that increase amount put in there. So when you vary from it, which you have every right to do, people are paying attention, and Todd said this, everybody is deserving. Everybody in this
Absolutely.
county is deserving to probably make more than what they do. But where do you draw the line? And I always go back to the budget policy. There's a reason why we have it.
Yeah.
So it's my long way of saying, if we're approving far greater percentages than what's in the budget policy, I would not be surprised if other departments are gonna come back and say, well, if you're giving so-and-so a 5 or 6% increase, I want to put in for it too.
Okay. That sounds like a legitimate concern to me. Okay,
I wish we could make things and sell
yeah, I do
them,
too.
but we can't.
Can do. Okay. Well, then
I got one more
yes,
question. Who is the closest person to that salary? The salary that we're raising? Because at the sheriff's department, we were having the problem with regular patrol officers making more than so and so. How close is?
I have not looked recently, but I know I have an employee that's been there 30 some years, and she, I believe, is making more than the administrative assistant. that I-
Okay. Could you get that
Yeah.
number? And I'm just curious on that.
okay, so after that discussion, I would say that we would, we'll take a vote as to whether to pass the increase. No, I'm not gonna vote, I'm not gonna vote. That's coming, so. We're going to move this on to next month. Okay. And I just want to remind everybody, this is my first real budget. I'm doing the best I can. And I've learned a lot. I'm learning more every day. I'm learning more every day. Okay, so with that being said, we're ready for adjournment. Is everybody in agreement?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. McKenna, second by Mr. Hadley. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
I know, right? That makes sense. Okay, that's now it's jumping on me.